What's up, people? Hey, so this is a small program in Python to scrape and watch your YouTube channel video count and integrate this program with Telegram so that you keep getting the notifications on your Telegram bot whenever there is a view count increase. Now, this is a small config file in which you would define that for YouTube that this is the channel name that you want to scrape and watch continuously in a certain interval, and then you also need to define the Telegram token ID and chat ID. I'll give you the steps for getting the token ID and chat ID. With this channel parameter, it automatically opens the channel videos section and starts watching the videos. You can also set whether you want to watch the latest video that you have uploaded or all the videos on the first page that you see. That can be done in the scraper file. Now I'll paste the steps to get the token ID and chat ID on the screen. Now let's move on to the next file, which is scraper. In this, what you have to do is call the session object, fetch the URL. In that URL, the channel name is the one which is coming from the config file, so it will automatically take you to the videos section. And then the next function, which is build current data, that will take the data from the session object, take out the HTML part. Now from that HTML, you have to do the processing and take out the JavaScript portion which has the video as information, and then use the JSON loads object, get the JSON object, and then from that JSON you have to just do the parsing, specify these parsing values. For example, if I want to get the view count of the first video, then I would be using this grid render item 0, which is the first video, then go to the view count and then the simple text which holds the count. Now this parsing object will return the response in form of list, so you need to fetch the first item. So that is why I've used self.view is equal to res and the 0th object. Similarly, if I want to fetch the title, I would be using the same similar parsing and then follow the path which is available. So it will be titles.run0.txt, and then since the result is again a list object, I'll be using res0 and throw it back into self.title. Now once you have fetched all the data into this self object, you need to return all of these parameters like self.view and title. The build current data should return all the parameters as a dictionary object. Now let's quickly look at the watcher. So here you have to set the Telegram info from the watcher JSON. So you would be using self.telegram equal to telegram bot and specify the telegram.token. So that's coming from the config file. And then to send the message to Telegram, you would define a method called send message, and then just check the self.telegram whether it is available or not. If it is available, then you would say telegram.send.message, and then use the chat ID which is available in the config. So this will allow sending the message to Telegram chatbot that you have created. Now so far you have created the current data, and since this program is inserting all the information into SQLite database, you would be able to perform this SQL query. And I have a very simple class called YouTube, in which I've defined that there is a data column, and then there is a username and timestamp column. And what I'll be doing is just perform a select query where I'll say that in the table YouTube, and the channel name should match the one which is defined in the config file, and then order by the YouTube timestamp. Limit 1 means get the latest record which I've inserted. Now the next code block is to check if the data has changed. So the last data is holding the last data from the SQL database, and if there is any data, then it makes sense to compare. Otherwise, you will simply insert the new entry into the database. So if the last data has a value, then change data will use the compare data function, which will use the current data and the last data, compare the matrix, throw back the response. If the data has changed, then it will create a simple table with the information, and then send a message to Telegram. And that's it. That's a simple program to send a message to Telegram. You can just keep this running and it will continuously watch the channel that you've specified and keep on sending the messages to Telegram.